Eggman!
So, you ever gonna explain how you escaped the White World in Generations? No? Okay.
Allow me to answer a question with a question. Does Eggman escaping the void from Generations have anything to do with the plot in this game? No? Then why should the game take the time to explain something that doesn't have any impact on the story? Granted, how Eggman escaped the void is a question that has yet to be answered, but you can't deem that unanswered question something wrong with Sonic Lost World when Lost World's plot has nothing to do with Generations' plot, especially since the passage of time in the Sonic universe is largely unknown.
If you insist.
Villain taking what the hero said way too literally, cliche.
So, it's an example of how evil a villain can be. There's a reason Heath Ledger's Joker made it so popular.
Whoa, that's harsh!
Oh, you know, the guy that blew up the fucking moon? Yeah, because he totally wouldn't think to kill woodland creatures after that.
Where did you get that Tails doesn't think that he would do that? Harsh deeds will always be harsh, regardless of a villain's previous actions.
Okay, seriously, what on earth was he expecting would happen? He'd catch the container and still fall. The thing is like twice his size and probably heavy as fuck. If it fell in the tornado, it would most likely wreck it.
If you look at what Sonic was trying to do, he was trying to press the switch that would open the capsule. So the plan was to open the capsule and free the animals so they could catch them in the tornado. Not to mention, Sonic 3 and Knuckles showed that the tornado has a suction cup chain thing that was used to carry the Master Emerald, so they could do the same thing here with the capsule.
I can land it, but it's gonna be bumpy.
I'm no aeronautical engineer, but I'm pretty sure that if your plane has a broken wing, you shouldn't be able to recover from that, much less make a safe landing.
Neither am I, but Tails most certainly is, given that he's built and flown several planes for a long time now. I trust that he knows how to land a plane with a broken wing, especially since he's been shot down many times in the past.
Weak! I would have gotten them all back by now!
Save the rest of them!
What?
Claims he would have gotten them all back by now, yet he can't even deal with the animals in the containers.
That's the joke.
You suck, McBain!
You are quite the mighty conqueror.
Yes, I am. I conquered you, didn't I?
Wait, what? Mind ever explaining how you did it? Who this guy is? How you know about the lost text? And no, the comics don't count. If I have to consult an external source to understand the plot of something, that's bad storytelling.
For those of you who aren't aware, there were comics made alongside this game that tell the events leading up to Lost World, and I do agree that any vital information about a game's story should be told in the game. However, we do get something that tells us how Eggman conquered the Zeti. We see later that he has the cacophonic conch which Eggman uses to punish the Zeti when they disobey him. So while it is a mystery as to how Eggman found out about the Lost Hex, how he conquered it is explained to a degree.
Hey! I've been looking for you, Baldy McNosehair!
Huh, this is technically the first time he's ever called him that directly.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Earlier we saw Eggman show the tornado's wing, but here Tails is fixing the propeller. What?
Fixing a propeller on a biplane? That's about as difficult as taking a nap.
Question is, why were you fixing the propeller?
Yeah, you said that already.
You, fat one! Go take care of that blue pest!
Who are you calling fat?
You!
You're one to talk.
In comparison to Zomom, Eggman's an alpha male compared to that water balloon.
If you hurry...
Wait, is Eggman watching one of the past cutscenes? How and why?
Not that this question even needs to be answered, but we see later that Zavok is also watching a past cutscene and appears to be studying it. Eggman could be doing the same thing here, but again, it doesn't need to be answered, so don't ask.
Oh, help me.
You've built like 5 different battleships. Fixing the floor should be no problem.
It's not the floor that's the problem, it's Zomom's stupidity and girth.
Minecraft trees.
You know we can see that too, right? We're watching the same footage as you are.
I'm feeling stronger by the second!
I don't understand how that works.
Classic inability to suspend your disbelief. I guess that joke in Colors DS about Cubot being sent to bed with no dinner actually had some weight.
One word of helpful advice: diet and exercise.
That's 3 words.
The dumb one actually outsmarts Sonic. Earth is doomed.
That's the joke.
Hey, that really sucked!
You're right.
That has to be one stale-ass sandwich for it to not even flop over.
That's cartoon physics for you. They laugh in the face of realism.
When is it a mistake to take your toys away?
When it's the only thing keeping 6 angry Zeti from controlling my next...
Zeti? Is that what they're called? So, are there just 6 Zeti? They're the only ones we ever see. Why give them a race if we're all just gonna call them the Deadly Six anyway? Why not the Deadly Zeti?
Because those are two different terms. The Deadly Six is the name of the group, and Zeti is the name of the race. According to the Sonic Wiki, it's implied there are more Zeti out there, but the game doesn't bother to show anymore because these guys are the only ones that matter to the story.
Oh yeah, by the way, we can control the mechs now because we control electromagnetic fields like Machina or whatever.
You literally showed the moment before where Eggman says,
When it's the only thing keeping 6 angry Zeti from controlling my mechs!
this is something they've always been able to do, and Eggman used the conch to keep them from doing it to his machines. He even explains as such to Sonic and Tails later.
Shiver me timbers!
Suddenly he's a pirate again because, I don't know.
Let's rewind that, shall we?
Shiver me timbers!
Did you notice the giant bang? He got blasted, and that caused his voice chip to get befuddled.
I should have listened to you, Tails.
Whoa, you think?
I don't appreciate your sass, Tails.
Even when it's completely warranted? I mean, Sonic just ran in head first and kicked the conch away without even bothering to hear Tails out.
Alas, poor Cubot. I knew him well.
Wow, this is pretty funny. Why does everyone say I knew him well? That's not the quote.
I did some research into this line and found that while the line is often misquoted, it still works when said that way because in the story, Hamlet did know the now dead character well.
Zeti have an innate ability to manipulate magnetic fields.
Sure they do.
Yes, they do. You literally saw them do it, and Eggman is explaining as such in case you didn't get the hint earlier, which you evidently did not. So at this point, you're just saying, no, I don't believe you.
Sonic punted it away with his typical stupidity.
Well, get lost, Eggman.
To be fair, Sonic, you did kinda fuck up.
Yes, and he acknowledged it to Tails in the previous cutscene. If you think he's gonna acknowledge his failures to Eggman, you're dreaming.
All those who think Eggman is a total bonehead, raise their hands.
Or about his dick to Eggman.
I don't want to use the same clip a third time. You guys get it at this point.
What would you say if I told you we could destroy Eggman's world and use its energy to make ourselves unbelievably powerful?
How do they know how to operate Eggman's machines? Wasn't their only job to beat up Sonic and get animals?
Eggman showed them how to make the badniks earlier in the game, as evidenced by this line from Master Zik.
He would make a powerful slave. Eggman taught us how to make robots.
And they know how to operate this machine because Zavok was spying on Eggman when he activated it the first time.
I'll supply the brains. You will supply the brawn I need to get past the Zeti.
Oh, and you're asking so nice.
You guys don't really have a choice. I mean, sure, Tails could do it, but Eggman is willing to cooperate. Way to be assholes.
The whole point of this half of the story is that Tails was always able to shut down the machine himself, and that Sonic should have had more faith in Tails, clunky execution notwithstanding. Even then, can you really blame them for being apprehensive, considering everything that Eggman has done to them?
Man up, Tails. I don't like working with my most hated enemies any more than you do.
Adventure 2, Heroes, 06, the list goes on, dude.
Adventure 2, sure, but he barely did anything in Heroes, and he doesn't remember 06. In fact, I don't think there's a moment after 06 and before Lost World where Eggman teams up with Sonic and Tails. Plus, he's still trying to conquer the world to this day, so him teaming up with them then was more self-preservation than actually being a good guy.
Yeah, well, teaming up with you feels like the end of the world, Eggman.
Adventure 2, Heroes.
And on their side, teaming up with Eggman was a case of desperate times call for desperate measures. They're not that desperate right now. In fact, they're more than confident they can handle the Zeti on their own.
We have a mutual problem. One so large that it will take both of us to overcome it.
Whatever. I told you, we can handle the Zeti by ourselves. How many military factories does a guy need?
If you weren't always destroying them, I wouldn't need so many.
He has a point.
So you agree with something, but you still sin it anyway.
Looks like it was built by a 2-year-old.
I think I liked it better when I was trying to destroy you.
Yeah, well, feelings mutual, Eggface.
Whoa, where the f did that come from?
A lifetime's worth of hatred. You can't expect there to not be any hostility between the heroes and their arch nemesis when they work together for more than a few minutes.
What if I told you that you were the only one I trusted to be fast enough, smart enough, and pretty enough
Go on.
to beat the blue nuisance?
Wow, I'd say you got the right girl for the job.
Well, that was so easy I almost feel guilty.
Sexism.
Nope. Just simple manipulation for someone so vain. Just because Xena's a woman doesn't mean this is sexist.
I will rebellious scum! I will destroy everything you love and make you watch! No!
You know, if Eggman can do that to a block of ice, I see no need to fight with mechs. He's faster than Sonic, as strong as Knuckles, and with the Eggomatic, he can fly better than Tails. Forget Team Sonic, Eggman is Team Sonic.
I don't really give a shit about what your point or joke is. I'm just gonna drop 5 sins for daring to waste a sin on one of Eggman's best moments. And I know I'm not alone in this because the comment section of this video that compares the English and Japanese dubs of this scene has several comments singing Eggman's praises.
Sonic is...
Again, who recorded that event and why?
Even disregarding your blatant refusal to suspend your disbelief, Zavok is very clearly studying the cutscene. You can see it in his demeanor. Not to mention, these questions do not have a big enough impact on the plot to be answered. Either ask the important questions, or don't ask anything at all.
Sonic, it's a trap!
Tails, no! Those rotten, sneaky...
Tails acted for the greater good. Let's make sure his sacrifice isn't for nothing.
I'm supposed to be the fastest, but I was too slow to save my buddy.
No, actually, your speed is what caused him to jump in front of you.
That is not what he is saying in the slightest. I can't believe I had to explain this, but he's lamenting the fact that he couldn't get to the capsule in time to save him. Maybe you should start paying attention more often.
You grabbed my friend, and I want him back!
Man, this day keeps getting lamer and lamer. Whatever. I gotta go tell the others the bad news. Giving bad news is actually the one thing I enjoy. I'll deal with you later, loser.
Is Sonic really just letting him go?
Nope. The following level is Sonic chasing him down and beating him up at the end.
And now, Sonic, it's time for...
Zavok, I want you to draw me like one of your French animals.
Charriii, Tails is 8 years old. Please get those sexual jokes out of here.
It's too late for us, Sonic. Save the world. Kick some butt for all of us. I'm sorry. I never got to say.
Amy! Knuckles!
Did they just die?
Not quite. And even if they did, kids' games are allowed to showcase death. They have been doing that for years now. This is nothing new.
I built a TV out of paper clips and reprogrammed a supercomputer using dishwashing.
Tails Ex Machina. Literally.
A Deus Ex Machina is a seemingly random solution to an unsolvable problem. Zomom saying the sandwich there isn't random because he's been eating that sandwich ever since the end of World 2. And Tails is a genius problem solver, which is how he's able to use his tails to reprogram the computer. So it's not a Deus Ex Machina.
Slim and crazy, old and Asian looking so he has to know martial art, which is racist. Fat, gluttonous, and dumb. Emo because that needed to be a thing. Strong leader that just wants to be powerful and destroy everything. Girl.
Could you be a little more specific with what you're sinning? You literally just described each Zeddy's personality and deemed each of them a sin. I know what you're going for with them being mostly one note, but anyone who hasn't played this game might not know what you're talking about. Even then, the only one I agree with is Zor. Master Zik is literally their sensei, i.e. not racist, and the others really aren't that bad. Not to mention, didn't you do this earlier?
They are the Deadly Six!
The Deadly Six.
Yeah, you sinned the entire group for being bad villains earlier. How is that different from what you're doing now?
Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario World, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Bowser.
I really want to argue against all of those, especially the Bowser one, but I can at least understand 3 of those. The Galaxy one, however, is where I draw the line, because Sonic came up with that idea first in Sonic Adventure 2's Mad Space, 6 years before Super Mario Galaxy came out. So if anything, Mario is copying Sonic.
Suddenly Buzz Lightyear.
Charriii makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin in the game and only applies because of the simple existence of a jetpack, regardless of whether or not it looks remotely similar.
And now, my ultimate weapon is complete!
This pathetic excuse for a mech is your ultimate weapon?
I guess I can see that for the Wii U versions, fight, but the 3DS versions? I don't know about that one.
And here's something that even Eggman couldn't do. I just reprogrammed his machine to return our world's stolen energy.
300 IQ man outsmarted by an 8-year-old fox.
With the exact same IQ.
Honey, why isn't my jetpack working?
Maybe because I borrowed the exhaust hose?
Sonic!
Huh, he literally fell off the world. So, does a lost hex have its own gravity or nah?
It does, but you could still escape it in the right spots, as clearly shown here.
Well, I would have wrapped this up sooner, but, what are you gonna do?
My cow, you cocky bastard.
Characterization is not a sin. It's how the character is characterized. If it's bad characterization, then sure, but Knuckles being a little full of himself is fairly harmless.
I can enjoy a nap on some fresh green grass.
Ow.
You really think falling backwards hurts, Sonic? Ha!
Whoa, what are they doing?
They're gonna join him and sleep under a tree. Not that kind of sleep, you filthy degenerates!
Great, thanks!
What's wrong with my mustache?
Question, why did his mustache get cut off?
Answer? That's why.
Hello, Sonic.
Yeah, I've been looking for you.
And we've been looking for you. Unfortunately, we found your friend Tails first.
Hey, you hurt one hair on his head!
Oh, don't worry. We're actually making him better. He'll be much happier as a robot.
No!
Hey everyone, Tony Sonic here. Thanks for watching the video, and as always, I hope you enjoyed it a lot. Sonic Lost World is quite the game. Half the fanbase loves it, and half the fanbase hates it. Personally, I love it. It's one of my favorites, believe it or not. That might be a hot topic to more than a few people, but I don't care. I love both versions. Though the Wii U version is my preferred version. And speaking of the Wii U version, I have the Deadly 6 bonus edition, which supposedly comes with the Knights DLC, but I'm still unable to get it. If any of you can help me out with that, I'd love to hear it. So please help me. I'd love to play the Knights DLC. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like, comment what you thought, and consider subscribing so the channel can keep on going and I can keep giving you all entertainment. Shout out to the Super Hogs for their support, and next time we're gonna hop over to a different Sonic universe where everything you loved in the main one is kinda bad. But hey, at least I can bring someone along for the ride. See you next time!